Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Your host, Superman, in the house. Hope you guys are doing well out there. We got Tyndall in the house already. Woo! Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm liking it, and I hope you guys are too. We got a bit of a movement to the upside on PulseChain, continuing on from yesterday. So it's nice to see. We're going to talk about all that in today's live stream. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. We're going to look at all the top performers at the moment today as well. I've listed a few of them in the chat there. Teddy Takeover, PTGC, Love, XGame, and Soul tokens. So we're going to talk about that. There are a few more like your mum, Richard Hart. And of course, we're going to talk about that too. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. Drop in one of your favorite tokens into the chat. Let us know what that is. And we may even check it out during the show. So definitely get into that. If you haven't already, don't forget to share the show on X and get the algorithm moving. Share show on X. There's the link, and all it takes is 1 minute. 1 second to hit the repost button, smash the likes, and leave some comments as well. That'd be great. All right, hope you guys enjoy green candles, because we've got a little bit of green candles just warming up. We had some good news around inflation today as well. That has got to be a good thing. So we're going to talk about that as well as the stock market. So that's coming up also. We might check out a few of the influencer tokens and see how the influencer tokens are looking today. So we might do that as well. We've got Hexgrade in the house. Hey, gang, like and share. Definitely like and share. Smash that out. And Wookie as well. Wookie is here. He is live. He is not a vampire. There we go. Hey, look, you've been hanging out with Jack Levin in Hawaii, is it? Is that what you've been doing? Hanging out with Jack Levin in Hawaii? Maybe that is the case. All right, let's get into it without further ado. And don't forget to smash the follow button on X. We've reached 766 followers. So we're on the move up to what? We're on the move up to 1,000. That's where we're heading towards now, rebuilding after we, had to restart again. Unfortunately, it's just the way it goes. I will try and get my old account back, but that's another story for another day. All right, let's see if I've got any cool stories on my X line. I've been posting out a cool few little movies and stuff. You can check all that out. So let's jump straight into the stock market, though, I think today. And kick it off with the inflation rate. So, stock market today. S&P 500 ends lower. Lower, what the heck? Why is it ending lower? There's such good news out today, and the stock market's ending lower. Crazy. We've got the US-China trade deal optimism fades, and apparently that's enough. Well, I don't know what there was so fading, because US trade deal done is pretty much on the cards. So I'm not sure what's going on there. We had the Dow Jones pretty much flat today at 42,865. The S&P 500 is down 0.25%, 16 points to 6,022. NASDAQ is down 0.5%, 99 points to 19,615. So I guess it's a bit of a demure day on the stock market. Nothing big down or big up, but that's just the way it goes. US dollar sitting at 98.5. So, US dollar depreciated somewhat. And of course, the crude oil there, $68.45, up 0.5%. Brent oil, $70, just up slightly. Gold at $3,383, up 1.2%. Silver at $36.44, up 0.5%. And silver there on a nice move to the upside. But trade deal done, says President Donald Trump in a social media post. Our deal with China is done, subject to final approval. That's what he's saying there, subject to final approval with President Xi and myself. In other words, Trump signing it. So that was awesome on Wednesday, adding the relationship between the two presidents is excellent. He added that the US will get the access to China's rare earth, minerals, and magnets, which is his officials have been pushing for all week, while Chinese students will be allowed to use US colleges and universities. Bring on the communism. We got the US president also noted that US tariffs will total 55% on Chinese goods. And of course, while Chinese duties on US goods will be 10%. So we'll see how that goes. Officials from both sides had confirmed that a framework had been agreed upon, but the lack of details had created a degree of uncertainty over what the framework will entail, leaving investors cautious over the potential for future deals, particularly as the previous Geneva Agreement did not hold for long. On the geopolitical front, the US is preparing to partially evacuate its embassy in Iraq and will allow military dependents to leave locations around the Middle East. And, of course, the move was prompted by unspecified security concerns. The move comes just as the US has threatened to strike Iran should talks over curbing its nuclear program hit a dead end. And, of course, we know that the chances are it's going to hit a dead end. We'll see. US will put a lot of pressure on, of course, to try and make that a deal. And it will probably be in Iran's interest. We shall see how far they're willing to go. Inflation, of course, is the big news for us in crypto. US consumer prices rose at a slower than anticipated annualized pace in May. So good news there, even as concerns swirl still around tariffs. Now, this is, of course, the progressive liberal media narrative because, look, the numbers are coming in better than they expected. So they've got to keep tagging that in, right? The Labor Department's Consumer Price Index increased by 2.4% year on year. So pretty low, right? It's pretty low. Inflation is pretty low. Target's 2%. In New Zealand, we have 1 to 3%. That's within a boundary, so it's really crazy. Typically, the Federal Reserve is really playing politics with interest rates. It's just that clear now. Yeah. So accelerating from 2.3% in April, but cooler than expected of 2.5%. On a monthly basis, the measure eased to 0.1%. Economists had projected the gauge would match April's reading of 0.2%. So, inflation going down. Stripping out volatile items like food and fuel and food, so-called core CPI, equaled April's rate of 2.8%, while it edged down month on month to 0.1%. Both were slower than estimated. So, the Liberals keep getting it wrong. Following the data, short-term interest rate futures priced a nearly 70% chance of a rate cut in September. Bring on altcoin season. So if altcoin season doesn't happen as soon as it may happen, which is like maybe July or something, then, talking about August, September, it's within the window. We're in a couple month window because that could be the key number there. And possibly something that Richard Hart's keeping an eye on as well, right? He likes sort of the interest rate cuts. And that could be like a big trigger in altcoin season. But some on Wall Street remain unconvinced, warning that inflation is likely to pick up pace despite the subdued figures throughout end year. We expect year-on-year core inflation to remain elevated, potentially rise to price pressures flow from recent tariff implementations. I think that's going to be very muted, to be honest. We already have oil down dramatically, and I think food prices, we've seen quite a few drops around the place, particularly like eggs and things like that are dropping. So I will be a bit surprised at that, and I think that these guys are overpricing that move, so to speak. No pun intended. Right, so that's kind of where we are on that at the moment. So if we go up and have a look at the, let's go up and have a look at the tools. Where's it gone here? Tools, and we're going to have a look at the Fed rate monitor and check that out. And we can see that, we've got 6 days and 7 hours to go until the next rate meeting, guys. Woo! Man, they should be cutting rates at this meeting. That could be, maybe that's an altcoin trigger, and inside 1 week, who knows? That could be pretty big. It would match in very nicely with our bullish outlook that we're getting at the moment, because everything's coming in pretty nicely. And so here we are, 4.25 to 4.5, 98% chance of a no change there. But we should have a change. We should have a decrease, right? So crazy. Now looking at July, it's still sitting at 80% on this July one here. But hey, look, we should be having rate cuts. It's crazy. So we'll see where that heads. There. All right, so that leads us into a crypto. We've got Osco in the house there. Only one is current king on Pump Tires. That's from Osco there. I'm not even sure what that is. I haven't even checked it out. So we might have to do some due diligence on that. Thanks for posting. What else we got going? Get into the chat there, folks, as well. Don't forget to repost the show on X. Let's jump into the full screen here. I'm trying something new today. I am recording the screen, so let me know if you've got any issues with the stream at the moment, because we're doing auto record. I haven't tried that before. So let's see how that goes with the show. That way I can do video clips at the end, which is I'm looking forward to doing. All right, so let's see how we're going. We got total market cap of 3.53 trillion. We're down 3.3% today on the crypto market, apparently. Bitcoin at 108,530. So we've come back off that nice little rally that we had yesterday, but we're down 1.4%. Number 2 is Ethereum, down 1.7% at $2,769. XRP is down 1.8%, $2.27 at number 4. BNB at number 5 is down 0.8% at $667. Solana at number 6 is down 2.6% at $160. Number 8 is Dogecoin, down 2.7% at just over 19 cents. Tron, number 9, is down 4.3% at just under 28 cents. And Cardano at number 10, rounding our top 10, is down 2.8% at just under 70 cents. So those are our leaders today, and essentially they're all pretty much down. The best performer is BNB, only down 0.8%. Now on the week, we're still up pretty green on the week, which is pretty cool. And we can see that Ethereum is still holding the number 1 spot there, up 6.1%. And we're sitting at $2,769. So getting ready for that next pounce, right? The golden ratio cross, the golden cross there. We're looking forward to that, not golden ratio, golden cross. We're looking forward to that soon. Now, moving into the top 100 best performers, we've got Kaya taking number 1 spot. It's at number 98, so it's come into the top 100. That's Kaya. I don't really know what that one is, that actually, but it's up 55%. Fartcoin's up 43%. That has been in the leader pack in recent times. SPX 6900 has been dominating the leader pack for the last week or so, and that is up 42% in the last week and 2.4% today at $1.60. So cooling off. It looks like SPX 6900 sitting at number 76. So made a big strong run to number 76 as well. And then we've got Uniswap number 4 up 28% for the week, and Virtual's Protocol up 18.5%. And we've got to give an honorable mention to a couple of these other ones. Number 6, Hyperliquid. Number 7 is Sky, formerly Maker DAO there. And of course, Internet Money coming in after that, followed by Aave. And there we go. Those are our leaders at the moment. So how many over 10%? We've got probably about 10, is it? About 10 or 11 over 10% gains there in the top 100 over the last week. Top gainers, we got Aura up 95%. We got OXO is up 31%, and we've got AO Computer up 24.8% as well. So we've got some big moves there, look like in the AI space in particular. Lo and behold, now we've been talking about Pi Network. You know, it's one of the worst cryptos on the planet, but it's so big that maybe it won't fail. That's pretty much how it goes, right? It's very regulated, so all the regulated people that love authoritarianism will be supporting that. But we got Electronium, the other one, right? The other big phone mining app from back in 2017, 18. It is up at the trending at the moment. So lo and behold, but it's down 4.3%. So why the heck's it trending? I don't know. Some news maybe. We got Aura there at the moment, which is also top gainer, is trending, and Virtual Protocols as well, which we saw as one of the top, and I think number 6 or 7 in the top 100 at the moment, also trending. Let's have a quick look at Electronium and see what's going on there. We've got the chart still looks terrible. So we're still at a 32 million market cap, still sitting at number 926. This is the phone mining app, of course. Had a very charismatic UK leader, but has not delivered. If they think that chart is success, they are dreaming, right? They're dreaming. All right, so that is pretty much it. Wookie says, Wookie is just watching sinners. Lucky Jedis can become vampires. I see. You've been watching too much of that TV. All right, so let's jump over to the news in crypto. And we got some laws and regulations. The Genius Act wins crucial vote and heads to the Senate floor. So if you're familiar, the U.S. Congress is normally passing the laws, making the laws up, and they have to go to the Senate. And, of course, it's gone from the Congress to the Senate there. This is all generally part of Trump's digital strategy. The U.S. Senate voted 68 to 30 on Wednesday to invoke cloture on the Genesis Act, a major stablecoin bill, paving the way for a final floor vote scheduled for next Monday. So that's next week there. If passed, the bill could set the first national regulatory framework for stablecoins in the US of A. The Genius Act there, short for the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for US Stables, requires stablecoin issuers to maintain 100% reserves, submit to annual audits if they hold over $50 billion in market cap. Now, we need some of those. We need some of those stablecoins over on the PulseChain. And, of course, and adhere to the rules of foreign issuers, all right? It could serve as a benchmark for stablecoin regulation in the U.S. financial system. Senate Majority Leader John Thune spoke in favor of the bill, aligning with President Donald Trump's stance on digital assets. We want to bring cryptocurrency into the mainstream, and the Genesis Act will help us do that. Then, we've got silly Elizabeth Warren the biggest hypocrite in town, making her protests. We got crypto's pivotal shift. Industry leaders say the bill could unlock new institutional participation. So it's pretty exciting. And of course, that is called a pivotal shift in crypto regulation there. Very, very cool. Ruse emphasized that regulation alone isn't enough, highlighting the importance of privacy and control. Those aren't optional features, they're foundational to institutional trust. And the Senate prepares for Monday's final vote. The Genius Act's fate could shape the future of US crypto policy and influence how stablecoins are used in both traditional and decentralized finance. And as you guys know, we have 4 liquidity forks on PulseChain. So they don't fit in that 50 billion mark, but they are fully collateralized anyway, right? Because they're all backed by Pulse, arguably Pulse. And so whether that fits the definition, I guess it does. So they're backed by Pulse, PulseX, Hex, and Ink token. So they're all essentially over 100% collateral back. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so I think they're normally sitting, about 230% or something. So that is kind of where we are on that. And of course, we do have stables that are imported into the chain. And of course, that is, USDC, USD Tether, DAI, of course. And they're all generally, I think they're all backed by fiat and other collaterals, right, for DAI. So I think that's all fine and dandy. So that gives us a lot of clarity around stablecoins. And of course, we're going to have new ones potentially, PUSD ALGO, hopefully, that will come through. And it's going to be interesting to see how they all play out. But look, it's DeFi, long live DeFi. And of course, this is US regulation as well. All right, so that's the big news there. It's going to lead us into PulseChain. So we'll get back into the old view there, PulseChain, and get into the results. So we're day 761 after the launch of PulseChain on the 13th of May, 2023. 13th of May, 2023, and we're 761 days later. Pulse at the moment is up, and so I've got that on the mode. PulseChain moves higher. PulseChain is up 5.15% at quadruple zero at 358, I should say. And we've got PulseX at quadruple 0319 up 9%, almost double digits. So that's pretty exciting. Buy and burn is at 7.2% of the supply. Ink token is $1.72, up 5%. That is looking pretty good. And Hex there at 71/100th of a penny, up 2.86%. EHEX at 22/100th of a penny. The combined price X and PX at 93/100th of a penny there. So if you're going to pick up some Hex, you better do it while you can from the looks of it, because things are starting to get going. We got this regulatory clarity around the Genesis Act. We got lower inflation. Who knows? We might get a surprise on the interest rates. We'll see what happens there. And of course, Trump's more trade deals coming. China trade deal moving forward. We've got the tax bill going through. Things are looking pretty good, generally speaking. So let's bring that on. Now, that is kind of where we are on that. Let's jump over to the gas prices, sitting at 2 million beats. So not too bad for a PulseX swap at the moment, 3 cents. Validators at the moment, 50,500, up slightly, maybe up about 40 validators there. And the bridge at the moment, which is kind of the heartbeat of the chain to some degree. Now, only so many of these stable coins are sitting in our peoples, but we've got the total amount, $93.8 million. And I think that's up a couple 100,000 from yesterday, isn't it? So not too bad. Now, our DAI is sitting at just under 21 million. We've got ETH there at 70,083. We know that DAI and ETH have gone down over the last 10 days because of the snapshot that I had, right? So back on the 3rd of June, it's now the 12th of June my time. So that's 9 days or so. It was sitting at another $1 million more for DAI, and another 90 ETH as well. So we've definitely gone down on those. So hopefully we'll get that filled back up at some stage. USDC is down 100K despite on ramps like Ramp now. That's still down, and Coast is pretty much the same. And of course, USD Tether there is actually up $4,000. USD Tether up slightly there. So, but Bitcoin's down 2 Bitcoin. So yeah, we have lost some, pretty important bridged in capital through DAI, ETH, and Wrap Bitcoin over the last 9 days since the last snapshot. So we'll see how that goes. But the total bridge value has gone up. Yeah, it's gone up. So it's still up about $1.3 million, driven by a lot of on-chain assets, let's say. All right, so that's kind of where we are. Let's see what else we got to talk about there. I think that's it for that. So we're going to jump into the markets and talk about the overall volume. overall volume at the moment on PulseChain, 23.9 million. That's a really nice jump. We were sitting at like 12 million yesterday. We've been at 12 million or 11 million for days on end, couple of days at least. But we're up at 23.9 million. Pretty cool. And we got a green candles. So we're up in volume on green candles, generally speaking. So that's good news. And we've got almost 400,000 transactions. So that's really nice increase as well. Let's quickly, before we get into the rankings, let's go to the volume and see where a lot of the volume is coming from on this leader pair here, this leader deck. Now, this has got PulseX at $1 million. Remember, has lifted its volume from the looks of it back up to 656K. And, of course, remember that was rotating a ton of money on the chain. And back, it was pushing us up to 60, 70, $80 million on cycling. And here we are at 656. So still pretty low, but certainly outlift the chain there. Hex and incentive token doing a lot of volume, around 500,000, 600,000, etc. Fresh start, shower here doing a lot of volume, 400,000 there as well. That's pretty interesting. So it's probably something to look at why that's the case there. PulseX and Hex, of course, your mum doing pretty well also there, $250,000. So that's not all the chain value, but that's some of the leaders here on the leaderboard. Let's go to the top token today. So 12 hours ago, I saw this, I think, before I was turning in for the evening, and we got Bolt token here coming out of nowhere, and I'm not sure who set this one up, but Bolt there connected to 369. It does have a website apparently. Let's quick look at that. Not endorsing any of these, of course. Remember that you must do your own checks. So just going to GoPulse site. That's not pretty chill. So just remember, we get lots of these new tokens set up. $197,000 volume though, over 24K liquidity, 129 market cap, and I don't know how safe was that actually. Does it give us indication? It says no issues on here, but your ownership renounced unknown. So you do need to do proper security checks on that. I don't know the status of that, so just take note. You can use Midgard's AI checker. You can use Pulse Police to check out all these things. Your mum is doing pretty well. So we talked about that, Richard Hart, your mum, and we got a big pump in the chart there a couple of hours ago, I guess. Let's have a look at the daily chart. Yeah, in the last day, sort of come out of nowhere here. Big volume, $250,000 in volume, over 101K liquidity, 750K market cap there. And it is on the move. Elon Musk, your mum. Oh, it's Elon Musk, your mum, not Richard Hart. So Elon Musk, your mum, the best meme on PulseChain there. All right, so let's jump out of there. We got Beast token. Now, Beast, of course, it got sold off pretty brutally. One of the printer tokens from OG WebChef. It's down at 70 cents. And it's made just a little bit of bounce of 57 cents at the moment. But you can see, look at this chart. So we had this big mega uptrend. And then, of course, it broke that. And then it just was brutal after that, right? I tried to hold on in this range here. And then it just sold off again. So there we go. RSI just humming along the bottom there on the daily. So yeah, pretty brutal. 120K volume though, big little pump today. Let's see if that can start anything up or not. We shall see, or whether it's a blip in the universe. We'll find out. What else there? We got Secret Conspiracy, 18.6%. That is up at the moment. We've got Hidden Vault as well, up 17.5%. Hey, look, I mean, generally speaking, a lot of these tokens, riskier tokens like the printer categories and other ones like that, you need to really be thinking about shifting into the core coins, right? The core coins, Richard Hart, and the blue chips. If you're not really thinking about that, you may get left behind in tokens that subside. So the riskier they are, particularly with the mechanisms that they have, you're taking on more risk, right? And the market may move a lot of value back into core coins, blue chips, AMM dexes and things like that. So just be careful at this stage of the cycle where we are right now. So just a cautionary tale there. All right, so we got the Vault there is up 18.4%. We got Teddy. Now I've got this on the top of the video. Top performers Teddy Takeover there, and of course we know Moon King and Ian Heinisch and people like that are supporting the Teddy Bear, and we can see that is had a nice little pump there in the days ones. I'm not sure why I've got the traders view, right, 4-hour chart. We go to the daily though. So yeah, we had a big pump yesterday, 57K of volume. So we had 58K of volume over 155 liquidity, moving the chart back up. So yeah, we got sold off pretty brutally, even on Teddy Bear. There are a lot of big holders in this token, and then we got pushed back down. And we've got price at 2,200 of a penny, and then we've moved back up to 3,600 of a penny at the moment. Almost got back to 4/10 of a cent there. Not quite, but that's kind of where we are at the moment. Coming off the bottom too on the RSI, pretty much 31. Now it's sitting at 44. But you can see on the 4 hourly that it's a bit heated, a bit overheated, and it's got rejected after getting overbought slightly. So we'll see whether it can hold on around this area. May have a bit of support, at 3,500. If not there, then maybe 3,400 before it might be able to, keep moving up there and cool the RSI off on the 4 hourly there. That's on the shorter time frames, right? So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. I haven't got any moving averages or anything like that on there, so just take note of that. We got Tyndale in the house there. Woohoo! Let's go, Superman. Hey, good to see you, Tyndale. We've got 2 Tyndales in the house. What, the same account? I don't know. Let us know. Good to see you, Tyndale 10. All right, so we got Pepe in the house there, 14%. 14%. We got Troper up 14% for James Maria. And, of course, this Pepe is, pump tires. What's the other one we talked about? Your mum up there has been around for a month. Hidden Vault, of course, Secret Conspiracy, all around a month, 26 days. So quite a few relatively new coins in the top leaderboard today. X, of course, some people love the X. It's up at 30 cents there. I'll have a quick look at X PTGC, and let's see what that looks like there. So this is X versus PTGC token, and that's up to 31 cents here. So nice little rebounce there on the daily. Yeah, there we go. I just had to talk about that quickly because I saw people talking about it. So yeah, we talked about Teddy Takeover. We got Missor as well, is up 12.8%. Another printer token from OG Web Chef. Let's have a quick look at that. And let's see, yeah, so pretty much down the bottom channel, but right in the middle, pretty much of 1.1 cents. So let's see if they can do much as well. It's doing quite a bit of volume. I think it's doing 97k volume, over 100k liquidity, so it's doing pretty good. What else there? XGame. Now we talked about this XGame. You guys know it. It is coming. Tyndall says reposted the stream. I appreciate that, Tyndall. Big shout out to you for that. And the crowd goes wild. All right. That's the magical Tyndall sound effects there. Magic Tyndall sound effects. So we got XGame back on the move, and I told you guys, man. We've started the XGame portal, right? The first dedicated community. And of course, we're going to do more promotions for that as well coming up. So you definitely got to join that. I think the link's in the video description if you want to join up the XGame portal. I'd get in there as soon as you can and get more of your friends in there because it's going to be, the place to be for XGame news. And this thing could be the first real killer viral app on PulseChain. And of course, they're supported by Solid Hex, Firewhale. So it could be pretty big. And of course, Randy Lasky as well. So, it's well worth, keeping a lookout for XGame and Solid X. If you want to do on the winners, and we can see that's up 12%. And I think this is going to run away, right? Still pretty much on the bottom. It's coming up pretty nicely. But let's go to the daily on this chart and look at that. Still at 52 at the moment. So it is a little bit overheated on the 4 hours. So you might want to let it just chill a little bit, possibly. But just let it come down a little bit on the outside. But this is probably going to do some pretty amazing things. I think XGame and Solid X tokens. So just take note of that. Loan token liquid loans is up 12%. All that money, 52 million, less, I guess, a couple million for development. So you decide how much they spend on that. And let's see where they go here. They 6 zeros 5,700. They're currently at 6 zeros 9,000. So maybe almost about to lose a zero. So we shall see. They've got this big resistance right up here. That resistance is at 5 zeros 1,200 pretty much. So they're at currently 6 zeros 9,000. So a little bit higher to make that mark to push up against that resistance. And that is about a 31% gain in the price chart there. So liquid loans arguably undervalued, and of course potentially benefiting from the Genesis Act, right? So on Monday it might do a little pop, right? We'll see what all those liquidity forks do on Monday with the Senate approval of the Genesis Act there. So let's see. That could all play into the market there on Monday. Is that the tip of the day? I don't know. It kind of makes sense. Will the market do it? We'll find out. That is where we are at the moment. All right, let's move on. And that is liquid loans, a liquidity fork stablecoin. And what else we got going at the moment? We got GoPulse that's sitting at 10.7 cents. So that's made a little bit of a recovery, up 11.7%. We got Love.io. Now I got Love on the title as well, right? We've talked about Teddy, we talked about PTGC, talked about XGame. I got Love here from Anders. We had Anders on the show the other week. That is up 10% as well. So another 10% mover. And like I say, we'll see what this team's got. What have they got in store? The app and stuff and expansions. Have they got some cool network agreements? This thing has got a great brand. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And can they make this thing fly? Certainly a fairly decent sized community on PulseChain in some ways. So we shall see. We shall see. Proof is in the pudding. And of course, they have luffy.com, right? The website. So let's quickly look at love.io. I can't stop myself saying it for some reason. We got luffy.com. And let's see where that's going. So if you haven't seen Luffy, it's the website, right? So they do have some stuff. When part of the sales, it does come over to PulseChain and buys up the love, as far as I understand. And these are some of the products that they have. It's a pretty much a luxury brand from the looks of it, mostly luxury. And they have all their products here. You get a cashback here, $40. If you spend $400 on this outfit, you would get a $40 cashback and love rewards. So that's kind of idea there. So presumably the outfit is made in like silk or something. I don't know. But that is loved. That is up today. What else we got going? We got Trump token, pump tires, and this might do well, of course, with the Trump theme, and of course the golden age of America, up 9.5%. What else we got going? Teddy OG, Teddy Bear from James Maria. That's up 9% as well, so not too bad. And then we get into Sun Mini Meal, and as you guys know, pretty bullish about where this could go. Obviously, it's got, I think there's more positives than there is negatives. Obviously, the negatives is really the holders, the existing holders. They're kind of negative because of the mad bags that they got. But the bullish positives are that we've got all the customers potentially being able to buy Soul token. New customers, and of course incentivized because they get a 20% discount on buying their product. We've also got the company buy and burn 20% of net sales, which based on last year's numbers is about $17 million US, and that means they've probably got about $8.5 million sitting in the kitty, ready to buy and burn. They've only spent, I don't know, maybe 100,000 so far. I haven't added the numbers, but let's maybe 100,000. Maybe I've seen about 100,000, but it's probably possibly a couple 100,000. I have to go back and add those numbers up. Good question though. So 12 cents at the moment, and it could have some big partnerships. They've got their production line coming, their second production line coming online, and more big deals potentially. So we shall see. But certainly this is a big corporate on PulseChain, and it is a major pumpermental for PulseChain. There's no doubt. As so long as actions follow words, and we see all this happen. And so far, I think it's been pacing reasonably well. A little disappointing on the Austrian World Summit, but we are waiting for the website to be updated, right? So the website has to be updated. And that means that the customers will get access to that new dashboard, the wallet, Sun Wallet, and of course the bridge unit, and of course potentially buying SOAR token to pay for their food. And so I think we'll get a net benefit out of that, because presumably that will be part of the clients that will use that. And so it'll be interesting to see how that affects cash flow, because obviously company has to pay bills. So if all 100% of the customers were using that 20% discount, then they'd have to be selling SOAR token down on the market just so they can pay for that. So there will definitely be a massive net gain out of that, but there will be selling as well, presumably, if that was the case under that 100% scenario. We shall see. But here we are at 12 cents at the moment, so we had a nice little rebound. We definitely had covered some of these big fat cat wallets, right? These are wallets pretty much for the most part that have all these free tokens, let's say. Obviously they many of them would have bought them during the sort of 18 months to 2 years. We've seen these wallets in here, and we have had a little rebound here back to 12 cents. So we'll see how that goes as well. I'm not sure if there was any buying overnight. This wallet here is the Ramp Now wallet, and you can see it's been buying fairly good. Actually had quite a few good buys here. Now, what we're expecting to see here, now these are pretty interesting, these 3,500, 400,400, because that would be essentially, I don't know, that one there looks particularly high, but typically we're expecting 3,000 euros, right, being the max at the moment, but that's supposed to move to 10,000 euros, and I think they're waiting for the website to go live, and I don't think that's gone. I checked it earlier today, hasn't gone live yet, so we'll be looking forward to that. That would jump this. So instead of having these amounts, you'd start getting, like $11,000 amounts, right? $11,500 amounts coming in. So that could dramatically change the chart if that occurs, right? We start getting instead of 1 to 3,000 euros, we start getting 10,000 euro lots. That could start mixing into the mix there. That could be quite an acceleration on the price here. So keep a lookout for that. So that's kind of on Soil Token. We'll keep a lookout for that. If you want more information on that, you've definitely got to join Strategy Club, right? The link to Strategy Club is in the video description. It is only $35 a month. It is fantastic value. You can go and check out some of the other people out there with their programs. Some of them are thousands of dollars, and you're getting hardly any alpha out for it. So definitely jump into the Strategy Club. Links in the video description. And of course, we've got a number of cool things coming. You're getting monthly reports. You get daily intel for the most part, certainly very regular intel. There's the top 10 index, which is performing like a boss. You get to see what that is. And of course, we have strategy sessions as well. And of course, lots of conversations going on there also. And we also highlight some of the big alpha projects that may do the big numbers, the 100Xs, the 1000Xs. And this is on top of the Magic Carpet Ride from whatever Richard Hart might do. So definitely worth checking out the Strategy Club, joining up today. Link is in the video description. So check that out today. We got Brennan in the house there, our TA guru. Good to see you, Brennan. Howdy, super. Congratulations on, was it the Newcastle Knights victory last weekend? So congratulations, Brennan. Hopefully they got a game this weekend as well. We'll see how they get on. Jerome should get the sack, manipulating markets the way he is at the moment. Yeah. And look, Democrats get away with a lot of stuff, Brennan. They are the destroyers of the world. We got our own lunatics here in New Zealand. It is horrible, man. It is horrible. Australia's got them, Canada's got them, UK's got them, Europe's got them. We got our own leaders against us. They're betraying us. Our own leaders. It is horrific. The whole West is being shut down, and they just want to enslave all the peoples. It's a pretty horrible narrative, but that's where we are. That's where we are today. And of course, they dress it up in a charade of nicety, but really they're all horrible, horrible tyrants destroying the West. But hey, at least we got Trump out there. He's doing some good stuff. So we'll see how we get on with that. And all right. So this is where we're at the moment. Let's see what else we got going on the charts here. We've got UFO not doing too bad, 8.4%. What else is looking nice here? SolidX course has made a nice little move here. Now, this is obviously with XGame. This is the other one that you want. This is the main one that's going to have the burning on it, right? Just got to get that. Couldn't agree with you more, Super. Yeah, 100%. And it's just a terrible amount of power they have, right? The power is just terrible. They get into power. They don't even have a mandate for what they're doing. And this is how they undermine democracy, right? They just basically destroy our countries, right? But anyway, let's move on to crypto because it's kind of the point of the show. So the holy grail there. Let's get into it. And we're at $11.26 at the moment. We had nice little moves up yesterday, early in the day, or 3 hours ago actually. We got up to $11.60. This is on the move, right? This is SolidX. This is also obviously a fire whale, the big whale there, SolidX, and this is moving up very, very nicely as well. And of course, we've called all this, right? So you guys would have got onto this one. This is pretty exciting, and we're expecting big things potentially for this with the big decentralized casino. One of the blue chips, as I would call it, riskier because it's called around casinos, but still I think could be massive for PulseChain re-rate, and of course could be the viral game that we're after. With the XGame, as well as potentially some pretty large marketing budget, which we really haven't seen outside possibly Rack and Michelle with the stuff that he's doing out there at the moment. But this could be at another level order of magnitude, and possibly like 100x order of magnitude. Could be pretty big. So SolidX there on the move and underpriced at the moment, moving up, but still underpriced. And of course, once the news comes out, it may get re-rated pretty quickly, especially if the actual site launches and the marketing starts ramping up. So keep a lookout for that. I was about the yawn, didn't I? And Signum token there, $1.73, up pretty nicely as well. And we could get some surprises around that in the future, around any Richard Hart moves around PulseX and the Dow and the Master Chef contract and all that. Then we got Pump Tires, another Richard Hart token essentially, and that is up 6.7% today. We could see some moves on that also in the future. Sparta. I cannot watch that. Have you ever seen the backstory to that with whatever his guy's name is? And he's talking about how he did the Sparta and how he shouted it out. And then he said, I want to do it one more time or something. And then that was the famous one that they had. and of course it was the right direction for it because it was so badass in the movies. Even though they all laughed on set, it was so badass in the movie scene when he said, "This is Sparta," and he kicked the envoy. What's it, the Mad King's envoy or whatever. But yeah. It was pretty cool. We digress. Finance on France here. That's up 6% as well. We've got Doubt tokens. Everything's pretty green. We've got lots of green tokens. Doubt pump tires. We've got Mafia from Jacob doing well. We've got Ink Printed there from Fast Abdul. He's into tech, and that's up 5% as well. And of course, that will be impacted by the Genesis Act. Well, we say we're in DeFi, but get my point. It certainly gets pulls under the umbrella to some extent. Then we've got Ape and Pulse there up to 5%. Incognito up 5%. 9inch from one of the other dexes there, sitting at number 3. That is up 4.7%. So everything's pretty green. Top Hat from Crypto Coffee up 4% as well. Gas Station from OG Web Chef up 3.5%. Big bonus coin there, matched with 9inch, right? These two go together. Big bonus coin is the farm reward. That's up 3.4% as well. What else did we got there? PMX 500 up 3%. Everything's pretty green. We're in the top 80 at the moment. Up token there from Haunted is up 2.8%. 9mm, the second biggest exchange there, is also up 2.5%. These might get very well re-rated pretty quickly, whether you like them or not. Whatever, the markets will probably revalue all their mem pools when prices start moving because all the value is worth more. So we'll see. Finvesta, of course, the parent of the OG Web Chefs there. Printer tokens up 2.5% there as well. ALGO up 2% on the back of Hex. That will probably get re-rated once Hex goes for a run. Like I said, you probably want to be slowly accumulating a bit more Hex there with that thin liquidity pool, and take note. Do your own due diligence, not financial advice, of course, on anything I'm saying. But we've got Phoenix there up 2%. Most Wanted up 1.8%. So you've got a pretty good list there. Firewell, of course, this is if you think about SolidX and XGame. Firewell is another one of those pump tires. There are 3 pump tires and the original OG one, which is the one that you want for the burning. The SolidX. What else we got going here? Yeah, Dominance, another OG Web Chef. Reserve Tay in there. Fitzgerald Company, that was doing pretty well the other day. That's down 0.5% there. Gas Money, OG Web Chef. Surf, of course, from Crypto Paradise. Aren't they doing a great job on social media and really getting the word out there? So another big team has arrived to PulseChain with 130,000 followers or so, and making a lot of collaborations, doing a lot of cool stuff. The cool thing I like about Nick Hellman and the team, they're professional, and they're bringing professionalism in PulseChain. As you guys know on the Crypto Night Show, we're trying to do that as well. Obviously, we were also running the first dedicated promotions team that I'm aware of on PulseChain, helping a lot of small, medium teams get bigger exposure. You can have the greatest idea, but if people aren't hearing about it, you don't get too much traction, do you? And you're competing amongst a lot of other protocols on PulseChain. So if you do have, if you're a team out there, you want to get your token, to be seen, as long as it meets some minimum standards, we'll be looking at that, and you can hit either MVS Crypto, the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show, or myself up about that if you want help with that one. Hit us up today. All right, so we got also the DAI pump token DAI. As you guys know, there are 3 different DAI tokens. There's PDAI, the fork DAI, the one that Somni is ambassador for, promotes a lot. And then, of course, there is the good DAI from Matty Allen. And then there's the pump tires DAI here. That's the one we're looking at right now. Been around for around 4 months. That is down 5% at the moment. And then we got obviously Reserve Tay down the bottom there as well. So that is the top 100. In fact, are they all green? No, not all green. We got up to about number 89 today, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good because we've been sometimes we've had only the top 10 green on the leaderboard here, and the rest of them. Now, of course, there are many other tokens on PulseChain that are not in this default view for Dick Screener. And we're going to have a look at one of those categories now, which is the influencer category. Yeah, we're going to have a look at the influencer. I thought we'd bring up influencer today because that could be pretty interesting. I always have a good time. I haven't got a coin on this list. I don't have it. There's no coin for Crypto Night Show. But we've got Brennan in the house there. Atropa and PDAI doing strong moves off low volume, says Brennan. Yeah, that's a good sign there. It's a good sign for sure. All right, now we got Axis Alive up 14%. So number 2, Axis Alive. Now I've got XGame in there as well because Firewell, he might not be an influencer, but he's pretty famous, on the chain there. So we got the XGame up 12%. We got Trump token. Now he's not on. There's no influencer Trump token on there as well, but he's celebrity, Trump token. So we got that on there as well. I was pretty generous, I guess, with this category. We got SolidX there as well. Obviously part of Firewell's team there that's up. And then Nope token. So this We've got Access Alive is obviously a PulseChain influencer. Does a great job with his category, particularly around TA and a few fundamentals and stuff like that. And then we have Note Token there from Randy Alasky, obviously a veteran of crypto. Has done a lot of promotions for crypto projects in the past. Does a fantastic crypto show, and of course runs I think probably the biggest. I think it's the biggest no permissions group. Yeah, so he's got the biggest. I think he's got the biggest following there. Certainly, maybe Crypto Coffee's got something. I know he's got a website and stuff, but certainly pretty big. And of course, a friend of Firewell, and so does a great job there. So Randy Lusky, Note Token, and sometimes he goes, he might be posting something political on X, and then he goes, nope. Which I think is pretty good, funny. We got Pump Tires, kind of Richard Hart token, right? 6.9% there. We got PDI, Good Die from Matty Allen, 6.6%. Firewell. So you guys know Crispy Man. Crispy Man, I believe, just did his 100th episode on Monday, I think it was, for Hex, covering Hex analysis. So, we've got to give a clap for that, right? We've got to give a clap for that because that's pretty outstanding. So big shout out there to Crispy Man, and his Fire token there is up 5% today. Now, top 8, of course, Crypto Coffee came into the mix, and he's got his token up 4.1%. Had some nice collabs with Crypto Paradise and the Surf token crew, so it's been pretty good, and with Emmett Farms as well. So big shout out to Kairos out there, making some great moves on the old Emmett Farm, and some of the highest yields on PulseChain. We got what else we got there? Firewell, of course. It's all related to Firewell. Another one of his pump tires. Most wanted course, essentially associated with Richard. That's at 1.3%. And then we got Time Dividend from Internet Money Wallet, but this is kind of KG. He moved from a founder to basically an influencer, and now he's a founder and an influencer. And of course, they've done a great job with the Time Internet Money Wallet. And then of course we got GoFurs, which was the first 404 contract on PulseChain, very experimental on Ethereum. And then Dipcatcher, of course, a founder, developer, influencer in his own right, also launched GoFurs there, the first 404 contract. And that I think I've got an old liquidity pair because it's not done any activity, I think, over the period of time. Still got 234k liquidity in there, but not much activity, one transaction. So that is sitting there at the moment, no percentage showing for that one. That is kind of some of the cool stuff there. Let's have a quick look at some of the other categories, shall we? How are we doing for time? I don't want to be too late today. We've got a bit of time here. We're only 47 minutes on the hour. So let's have a look at some of these other categories. Not sure which ones I've got on here. We've got Rack and Michelle. Yeah, so this isn't like Rack and Michelle's full portfolio, but this is the ones he recently disclosed, because he's been buying up a lot of coins. He mentioned not too long ago that he'd been buying up like $8 million worth of coins because people obviously harassing him for some of the sales that are going on his account. He is adamant that it's his ex-wife doing it. But he said he's been accumulating on the chain, and so we've got his some of the tokens in his portfolio, and we got PTC the Grays, PulseX, UFO, Inc, Pump Tires, Pulse Hex, 9-inch XUSDC, USDT, I should say, Vibes, and Hex. Now we know that he has taken number one positions, as I understand, in USD, XUSD, and Vibes. He also has taken, I think, principal positions in some of these other tokens as well. I'm not sure if it was Pump Tires. I think it was another one taking in some pretty big positions on those. So, and they're all green today. So, I mean, it's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad to see. And of course, this is, crypto is one way to re-rate your whole balance sheet, right? If you're a venture capitalist like Rack and Michelle, it's, he's got other divisions, as I call it. He's got like a gun division, military division, I think. He's got other stuff in there. This is crypto, obviously, is the easiest way to re-rate often. Unless you get some government contracts or something, I don't know. But that's kind of the play on the Rack and Michelle. Now I've got something else. What else do I have here, Jacob? Yeah, we'll go jump over to Pump Tires. Now I'm not sure if this is missing some of the new ones. There's probably a couple of new ones in here, but we can see that they're mostly in the money. They're mostly in the money, all the way except for DAI. The DAI there and Best token, which I guess is arguably another Richard Hart token. Those are both down at the moment. But apart from that, everything's looking pretty green. Teddy Takeover is looking the best, though, after the bottoming out. What else I got here? Printer tokens. Now, I'm not sure if I've got all the print tokens. I'm probably missing one or two now because this list is not fully up to date. But we can see that Beast token, Missor, on a bit of a comeback. So is Fleximus. The ones that are still down, Mist Token, Gas Money, still down there. Look, world's greatest PDI printer, still down. And then we've got a couple of moderate gains there. Savant there, Mnemonics up a couple of cents there, along with Remember. There are two Remembers, right? The green one, which is the original one, it's been around for 7 months, and then the green one, which is the new one, the one that was causing all that volume on PulseChain a couple of weeks ago, is not on this list. So I said I might have a couple missing, but we did this list when we could. So that is some of the cool stuff there. Let's go to the Richard Hart coins and let's have a look at the chart, shall we? I might be giving away a secret sauce here, so I've got to be careful what I talk about. But let's see here. Let me hide those charts. Let me hide my charts. I'll come back. Let me have a look here. Gotta make sure. Yeah, I've been up to something. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I can't show this chart. All right, so we'll come back to that. All right, so let me jump away here. In fact, Brennan, if you're in the house later on today, if you're in the chat there, definitely drop in, and I'll have a secret chat. All right, so let us know if you can make it later on. All right. On that note, I don't know whether I can actually use any of this now. Let me jump right to here. That's pretty much. Let's jump over this one and I'll get back in the chat here. All right, so up to 50 minutes, and let's see. We got no other comments in the chat there, so we're probably going to go into. Shall we have a look at quickly look? I want to quickly look at Jack Levin on X1 chain because he's definitely been busy. So we're going to jump away from PulseChain now, and we're going to move into. We'll look at Jake Sharp, but no, Jack Levin, and we're going to jump over to potentially the first fork of Solana, right? The Jack Levin X1 chain, and he's had some pretty interesting stuff recently. He's doing a big capital raise. Now, it's pretty controversial, I would say, but he's been doing that. And he had this little comment here. I think we read it out briefly yesterday, but let's go back into that. And that was, as X1 Labs near $3 million fundraising milestone, the company will begin strategically acquiring Bitcoin as reserve asset, fortifying long-term growth and insulating its treasury from the inflationary impact of unsound monetary policy. In particular, or in parallel, I should say, revenue generated by X1 blockchain will serve as a foundation for X1 Labs' future ambition and public listing on NASDAQ. So there we go. I thought it was a community chain, but apparently it's not so much the case. Obviously, it's a classic setup, right? But that is where we are there on Jack Levin. So we are expecting to get the X1 chain launched. And for all the negatives, and there are many, it's crypto, right? So, first fork of Solana, it's probably going to do pretty damn well, right? It's probably going to do pretty well. Sure thing. I'll jump in the secret chat room. Yeah. Hey, we might have to go to the secret chat room, if you know what I mean. We might have to go there to talk about that. It's not so secret actually, but we'll probably have to do that. All right. So there we go. And that is that's some of the cool stuff. Now he said put out here. Congrats to Steve Pucha becoming an investor on X1 Labs. Steve is currently at Solomon Labs, formerly a crypto PM, at PayPal. More about him here. So obviously, Jack Levin has a lot of connections into Silicon Valley and that sort of world. So that's going to be pretty positive there. And no doubt, probably Rack and Rochelle is having a look at this. I did see him in the X space. They're on one of the investor sort of discussions on X. So we never know. With Rack and Rochelle be participating in that. And we shall see. But yeah, X1 there is coming, and we are looking forward to that, right? Regardless of all the, I would argue, the negatives. Obviously, tokenomics is not Jack Levin's strength, and it's or intentionality could be the issue. Intentionality around the big burning of Zen, of course. Now, Zen at the moment is super cheap, so it'd still be a way to get on ramped into X1. So there's definitely some opportunity to buy cheap there on the old X1 chain. But there's the white paper as well. It gives you a breakdown of all the benefits there on the SVM chain there. We shall see how it goes moving forward, but could be pretty big. So that is on the old X1. So that's kind of the update there. The other one I was going to look at was Jake Sharp with with Titanix. We'll have a quick look at Titanix. There's not a lot happening on Titanix market today, which is always a good time to accumulate a little bit more. You're waiting patiently for that one though. Maybe got a month to spare. I don't know. We'll see. So this is Jake Sharp, of course, the founder of Titanix. And of course, let's quickly see, he's obviously been building as well. So let me jump around here. And of course, we had to touch on this the other day, but it's worth touching on, talking about one more. Let me jump down here. This is the kind of the news here that he had. And that was, let's just say it's not someone said, what you building, boss, basically. And he goes, let's just say it's not a token. It'll use a buy and burn X28 in the background for OmniChain. You'll be able to build businesses around it. It's a big build, not easy. And we know this is kind of what, what Dipcatcher is building with his old, Hexflex, right? So we've got a Hexflex. Or Dipcatcher. I don't know if it's going to come up there. Dipcatcher there. This is kind of what he's building for Hex, right? He's building a whole ecosystem with his, Flex there, wrapping eHex 1-to-1. So for FlexNet, I should say. Do I call it Hexflex? I call it Hexflex. That would have been a better name, I reckon. But anyway, FlexNet is the name. You should call it Hexflex. Flexing Hex, But anyway, let me know in the chat there whether you agree or not. But that is what he's been doing, and we're excited. I'm excited about it. Anything that uses a use case for Hex is a good thing, and it's a wrapped Hex, right? So I mean, it's got presumably a lot of protection there. So yeah, we're looking forward to some of the cool stuff there from his FlexNet. I definitely think he should have called it Hex Flex. This is so much sketchy. I don't know. I find FlexNet is a bit hard. FlexNet. Let me know if that's hard. It's hard in my Kiwi accent. The next is for on-chain innovation. That is coming there, and 1,000 transaction throughput. Apparently got quite a bit of support from the Ethereum side of the chain. So there we go. We shall keep a lookout for that. But I'm excited about it. I think it'll probably do some cool stuff. And let's see where the eel heads connect in there. I think they've still got the opening for it. Yeah, they got pre-test net phase, test net phase, and then mainnet phase. So it looks like they, in the angel phase there, they've sold 5,272 out of 10,000 sold, $7 per unit. In the seed phase, they've got 8 out of 10,000 sold so far. And then they've got the expansion phase. So it gets more expensive, basically 2x there, right? And then it's a 2x again. So it doubles in price to get in there. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Let's do some math on that, shall we? Do some math? Who likes math? Do some math. We'll do some math. So we got what? 5, 7. Let me redo it again. I started badly off the math there. First rule of math: put in the right numbers. Put the wrong 7.2 times $70. So what's that at? That's 369,000. Hey, isn't that funny? It's 369. $369,040 there at raised in the angel investment, and he's raised another 1,000 or so with the testnet phase so far. But I think it's a pretty good idea. Looking forward to how that will play out. Now that moves us, I guess, to Titanix and quickly look through the charts here. We haven't really got a lot of move at the moment. A little tiny move on the wrap price there for Titanix. It's up 2.6% today, but not a lot of action. You can see Helios is actually up 19%, and we had the dude on the channel the other day or the other week. Inferno, of course, Crypto Utah, Ali and the gang up 14.5% there. Lotus up 90%, Flux up 9%. So it's pretty good gains today on those. Morpheus was up yesterday. That's Brandon, of course. He's a crossover influencer like myself. Does Titanix and PulseChain, and that's down 13%. So had a big bounce yesterday and got sold off. I'm not sure what all these zeros are going on here, but not a lot of activity there. The volume's virtually dead on these other ones here. What else is looking interesting? Blaze up 12%, Tink token up 13%. Tink currently at 2.17 cents. And so, once Titanix does get a move on, all this will, go back to the upside. All changes pretty fast. Ouroboros there, a really good fork there as well. I think a modified fork of Liquidity as well, up 9.5% there. That is holding up pretty well. What else there? Turbo down. Let me jump through some of these. We talked about Uranus. Oh boy, it's come all the way back. It got sold all the way back down. Wow. It's been a while since I checked this. Remember, I haven't really been coming too much to Titanix, waiting for the reversal to happen, right? But let's have a quick look at that. That has definitely changed. So that was holding up very well. Let's reverse that to X28, I think. So it was holding up very well. And we were getting up to like 3x. So it was a really good return, but that has been sold down over time in little increments, little bites. And now it's actually below 1-to-1. So The 1-to-1 is what people basically contributed or sacrificed for. That's now gone just below that, interesting enough. And 2 days, just took 2 days of volume, just the last 2 days to do that. So that's pretty ironic that we're just looking at now, is it? I don't know. You decide. But that's crazy. All right, so that's pretty much that at the moment. That's the Omni-Chain version, right? Uranus. That was a collab between James from Baby Dragon X and the dude from Helios and Element 280. But we are waiting for some big projects, waiting for Genie to come out. And of course, that's from Crazy Mad Scientist DVD at the frontier of DeFi. And also Tauros, also from Cryptographics. Both of them are pushing the frontier of DeFi tokenomics. So I'm very excited to see those play out, because someone's going to get close to the Holy Grail, right? Which is, I don't know if is Forever Upcoin a Holy Grail? Well, I don't know about that, but I think someone could do something that's pretty close to that. I think that would be pretty amazing. And that's kind of one of the joys of being in crypto, because we're at the frontier of economics / tokenomics, and tokenomic design. I think it's right at the frontier. Can you don't have to get perfect, don't have to have perfectly Upcoin, because I think that's kind of ridiculous, right? Because people sell. But man, whatever can get to closer to the Forever Upcoin, you can do it. You just going to need more new users as well, right? So it's kind of the holy grail. And that's why I really like this side of crypto. That's one of the things that really has always kept me, engaged in crypto. So there we go. Very, very excited. Let me see your Hexflex, says Brennan. Yeah, Hexflex. That's a story for another day. All right, so that is pretty much it. So I was going to finish up there. We're up about an hour now, so I'm going to finish today because I have got something on soon, and probably about 30 minutes. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. We're 1 hour and 1 minute into it. We got a great crowd at the moment watching, so a big shout out to everybody. I really do appreciate all you guys out there, and I hope you guys enjoy the daily content covering PulseChain. Now, as far as I know, I'm the only significantly sized PulseChain influencer covering PulseChain on a daily basis. So I do enjoy it as well. And a big shout out to the Kryptonite team. I got all the moderators. We got in the house. We got the community leaders in the house. Appreciate all you guys' work. We got our promo team led by Crypto MBS doing a great job. So big shout out there as well. And we've got a lot of different other people supporting us, artists and other people and promotions of social media. So a big shout out to everybody associated to the Kryptonite show. Really is cool. We're just getting ready for the bull market ahead, guys. Really are just getting ready for that. We are. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cheers, super. Take care, all. Big shout out to you, Brennan. I appreciate the comments in the chat there today. And let's jump over to our other screen, and we're going to play out some of our bullish stuff on the way out. Billionaire Raoul Paul, of course, did a fantastic analysis of where we are in the cycle, and we're pretty much at it now. Obviously, this could be within a month, 2 months kind of window, but I think the stars are aligning. Trade deals are starting to happen, and the tax bills going through. We saw the Genius Act there going through as well Monday for stable coins. Things are on the move, and the inflation's coming down. Maybe we'll get an interest rate cut at some stage. Let's see where we head there. Game on. M2 Monday supply all-time highs. Oil prices down low. I mean, things are heading in the right direction on a lot of the economic stuff. And of course the cycle for Bitcoin following the halving and everything else seems to be playing out. Institutional buying though is definitely impacting the chart. I think the 4-year cycle is pretty much over. And institutions taking over crypto, and that's just the way it goes. But they've still got to buy. They want all the coins, and you know who they got to buy them off? They got to buy them off you, the retail investor that's been accumulating over all those 4-year cycles. It's the retailers that have been buying them, and so the institutions have to pay you guys to get your coins. That is the big mega theme coming up, moving ahead. Isn't that cool? The institutions are paying you. You don't worry, they pay you, and then they dump on the new retail, the ignorant retail when they come up. That's what happens, right? So you're the educated retail, right? You're here now. You've been here for years. You've been buying these coins, and they want your Bitcoin. They want your Ethereum, right? And so they have to pay you higher prices for it, right? Because you guys, value. And then later on, they wait for the FOMO. They make the FOMO happen with the big parabolics. And then the new retail comes in and they dump on their heads and take their money, all their hard-earned money. They take their money, but you are sitting there laughing. You were there early and you accumulated. So that's it's kind of just the way markets work, unfortunately. But yeah, we've definitely got a different setup leading into this next banana run here. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a bit of fun today. All right, bye for now. Take care.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.